Hi, my name is Wendy. They say that cancer really never has a face until it's your own, and now I believe that. My story starts back in May 12, 2014, when I was diagnosed with stage 3 locally advanced breast cancer. I was 44 years old, a mother of 2 children, ages 10 and 14, 2 daughters. I had been a single mom for most of their life. I was working as a pediatric physical therapist. I really was caught off guard by the diagnosis because at that point in my life I felt really amazing. I had been working out 4 or 5 days a week. I was doing yoga. I was eating healthy. I was doing all the right things that they tell you to do. I had met somebody that I thought I wanted to spend the rest of my life with, and I was engaged to be married the next spring. One morning I woke up and I had a really sharp pain in my left armpit, and I noticed that my breast was swollen. And being in the medical field, I knew something just wasn't right, even though I had had a normal mammogram 6 months before. And they said everything was fine, so it definitely wasn't on my radar. But I knew something wasn't right, so I went to my doctor, and that's when I was referred for a diagnostic mammogram. And that's when they saw that I had a 5-centimeter tumor in my breast. And it didn't show up on the mammogram before because I had dense breast tissue, which nobody had told me that. But I guess when you have dense breast tissue, sometimes cancer doesn't always show up on a regular mammogram. So at that point, my life was taken over by a whirlwind of doctor's appointments, more blood work, testing, scans, biopsies. And then I knew that I was going to have to do the max treatment because I was stage 3. The hardest part was the waiting. Waiting for them to tell me that it hadn't spread all over my body, waiting for me to give me a plan. And then I was just ready to start. I was ready to start treatment as fast as I could. I think the hardest part was having to sit your children down and tell them that you had cancer. The look on their faces, I'll never forget, ever. The fear that I saw. Especially being a single parent to them, I was like their lifeline. And I had to just put on a game face. I had to put on a smile, and at that point, I just knew that I had to do whatever they told me to do to beat it. And I wanted them to see me be strong. And I wanted them to remember that when you're faced with challenges in your life, that you can overcome them. And so I did. And I went through 6 months of chemo. I did 6.5 weeks of radiation. I chose to do a double mastectomy. And I have been through 5 surgeries in order to reconstruct my body, what cancer took from me. And I'm doing great now. I'm in remission. The one bad thing about being a cancer patient is they can never really tell you that you're cured. But I go, it's still a part of my life as I'm still going to my regular cancer checkups, just making sure that everything's fine. I think the biggest fear to you is that it might come back. The fear of recurrence is always in the back of your mind. But I think going through this has really changed me in so many ways. I mean, there was a lot of really, really low times in my life. I actually lost some things along the way. Not only my breasts, my eyebrows, my eyelashes. I also lost the person that I thought was going to be with me forever. He chose a different path. I also had so many highs that I can tell you. I had a lot of support. I had an outpouring of support and encouragement from my coworkers, my family, my friends who they pushed me. They pushed me along the way. And I can say that the last 4 years were life-changing. And I think my biggest advice to anyone that's going through this is just to take in the little things. Always remember, that life is special and so important, and just take in the little things. Don't take things for granted. One day you might wake up and your life is completely changed. Even if you don't have cancer, just life is beautiful, and just take it all in and enjoy it. I also have taken my journey, and I'm using it to help others. As a physical therapist, I went through my oncology certification while I was going through my treatments, and now I'm working with cancer patients. I'm working with other breast cancer patients, and I'm able to share my story, and I'm able to help them. And I'll continue to use this journey to help others along the way. I feel like my journey was a positive experience for me, and something that I'll never forget.